What's up, guys? So today we're gonna take a look at a pair of uh, Jim Green boots. Uh, Jim Green is a manufacturer out of South Africa. This is the Numzaan boot. It's a relatively newer boot for them. Just came out a little bit ago. So I've been wearing these for a little bit now. So I figured I'd go ahead and do a little review on them and give you my thoughts about them and stuff. So, uh, for how I kind of got into buying these, a little while ago, my brother-in-law had asked me uh, about if I knew of any boot that he could wear for what he does. He owns a flooring company. He's got like 30 or 40 employees. And so he'll like run around and pick up material and move equipment around to all his different job sites and stuff. And then he also will go to like meetings and stuff like that with because he does a lot of flooring for the biggest luxury home builder around where we live. So he kind of likes to maintain a professional appearance. And the guy doesn't wear jeans at all. I've never seen him wear jeans once. Like he usually just wears chinos or canvas 5 pocket pants or something like that. And he's always in a collared shirt. But so he has a pair of Thorogood mock toes, and every time he has to go to like meetings and stuff with the home builders that he works with, he always has to like change out his boots because he doesn't like uh, wearing like a full on work boot into those meetings. So a little while ago, he had asked me if I knew of any boot that where he could just wear the one boot and not have to change them out if he had to go into any meetings. And honestly, I really couldn't think of any. He loves the wedge soles for this type of the work that he does because he's on hard surfaces. He's like going to warehouses and stuff like that, and he'll walk around job sites and stuff like that. So he wanted something that he didn't have to keep it like an extra pair of shoes in his truck for when he had to go to a meeting. And I honestly couldn't think of anything that would really, meet his needs. And he's not a boot guy, he grumbled about paying as much as he did for his Thorogood mock toes. And so I needed something, that was reasonably priced that, a non-boot person would buy. And yeah, I really couldn't think of anything. Like I was at first, I was kind of thinking of maybe like the Jim Green African Ranger, but that was just not quite dressy enough. It was kind of a little too work bootish. So a little while ago, I saw that Jim Green had released this boot, and I was thinking, that would probably be like the perfect thing for him. So yeah, I bought a pair to try them out because I didn't want to tell him, hey, check this boot out, and it ended up being garbage or something. So I bought a pair, and it's just been a great boot so far. Um, so throughout this review, I'm going to say some stuff, and just keep in mind that I'm talking about this boot in the context of its price point. So this boot was like $250, and just kind of keep that in mind for the type of stuff that I'm going to be saying in this video. So yeah, this is the Numzaan. It's on their ASHM last. Uh, they say to go true to size on it, and that's what I did. I'm a 12D Brannick, and these are 12D. It's pretty roomy, so you can see there. Yeah, it's snug at the ball for me, and then it's pretty much roomy everywhere else. Like it doesn't squish my toes or anything like that. Um, I was thinking maybe if I was gonna try to go another half down, and I honestly don't think I could. Like it's roomy everywhere for me, but I think if I went down another half size, I would probably squish my left pinky toe. But yeah, just pretty roomy. It really reminds me of Oak Street Bootmakers Elston Last. If you've ever worn one of those, it fits pretty similar to this. Like uh, the boots on the Elston Last I have, I I took them true to size also, and it fits really similar to this. So yeah, plenty of room in the toes, roomy through the waist and heel. Yeah. So the leather on this is uh the color's walnut. It's a combination tan leather that they source in South Africa, and yeah, it's a decent leather. You know, let's see, not really much pull up to speak of. Yeah, combo tan leather, so it's chrome tan, and then they do a veg tan on it. It starts off relatively stiff, but it's softened up in the time I've been wearing it. So yeah, it's a decent leather, you know, for this price point. You can see what it looks like there. Yeah, so the color is walnut. It's kind of like a I don't know, like a it's not burgundy, but it has like some red tones to it. It's kind of more of a I don't know, like a really light reddish brown. You can see there. I can show you a couple different color boots to maybe give you an idea of what the color is. So this is it next to brown chromexel. You can see it's kind of a little more reddish. Kind of similar in color if you've ever seen like Seidel's oil tan leather, like their chocolate, like that kind of reddish brown almost. This is a little darker, but yeah, this is it next to brown chromexel. And then here it is next to color 8 chromexel. You can see it's not really all that burgundy, but yeah, no, it's a perfectly fine leather. Um, you know, you can kind of see the wear on it and the creasing and stuff. Yeah, pretty decent leather. It's been perfectly fine for the time I've been wearing it. I really don't have any complaints about it. I like the color. You know, I can wear it with almost pretty much everything, so that's kind of handy. So these boots, the construction of them, they're stitched down, and you can see they do a 360 stitch around it. It's got a toe cap, and the toe cap is actually like a true toe cap. Like so, you know, like a lot of like fashiony boots, you'll just have the toe cap will come up here, and then the vamp would end there, and then they would just stitch that together. So, but with this, it's an actual whole separate piece of leather stitch over the top of the vamp there. So it's just like a lot thicker of leather up in the front there. It's got a thermoplastic heel counter and a toe stiffener. You know, it's at this price point. That's you know kind of it gotta expect stuff like that. You know, kind of fine for the price point. It has a steel shank, and it's got this. This is my first pair of gym greens, uh, and so this is kind of like a different kind of tongue setup. than I've seen on most boots. It's a bellows tongue. So like the facing is just kind of a separate piece that they stitch on there, and the tongue comes out in between there and goes down in there. You can see it there. So yeah, it's pretty beefy there. You know, the bellows, it comes all the way up here, the gusset. So it's going to keep out, dirt and stuff like that from getting in your boot, which, I love that. That's why I kind of like fully gusseted tongues and stuff, just where I live, because in the summer it can get super dusty, and I like that that'll keep all of that out of your boot. That's pretty cool. Uh, it's got a half sock liner in it. You can see it there. And what I thought was kind of interesting, so it has this backstay, like this single piece backstay here, but they also see if you can just see it in there. So they also sew in like that internal counter cover down in there. Just, kind of interesting. I don't really see that in too many boots. It's fully lined with this yellowish leather there. So the upper leather, this walnut is, I think they said it was like 2.2 millimeters thick, and then they line it with this calfskin, which is, I think they said it was like a 1.6 millimeters thick. So you're getting like a pretty decently thick leather throughout the boot, especially at the toe there with the genuine toe cap. That's pretty cool. Like it gives a lot of structure to the boot. Um, and what I think is really fantastic about this boot is they actually use a leather insole and a leather midsole. You can see it there. And I think that really is kind of what sets this boot apart at this price point, is it's built like that. So, at 250 bucks, I would kind of expect like a fiberboard insole and squishy foam all throughout it, and like a leather maybe a leather midsole, but not this beefy. Um so yeah, that's something that really makes me like this boot at this price point, is you get a leather insole, so it actually feels like what I'm used to as a boot, and I think that's great. Uh, the sole on this is the frog grip sole. It's kind of a new sole for them. It's when you're walking around, it feels like a wedge sole. I mean, not that feeling of 100% contact with the ground, because they cut it so it's got like this heel, but like the softness underfoot, it feels really similar to a wedge sole. Um, I checked it with the durometer. Uh, I checked three different spots and averaged it, and I got 41 on the Shore A scale. And just for like as a point of reference, a Vibram Christie sole I checked also, and for three different spots, the average for that was 62. So it is significantly softer than say like a Vibram Christie. And you can really feel that, like it's really soft underfoot. And for a boot, I kind of like that they did that, because a lot of the time you'll companies will just throw a bunch of foam in the insole, and then that's where the softness comes from. But with this, you get like the leather insole, and you still get that really really solid shock absorption through the sole itself. So it feels like a more expensive boot, that's on a wedge sole. So it's really nice. I like it. And they didn't put a bunch of foam in the inside, which I think is pretty cool. And with it being this soft, the sole, it's probably gonna wear out fairly quick. Like, since it's pretty soft, it's a lot softer than a Christie. I would imagine that it would probably wear faster than a Christie. Um, but that's kind of the trade off you make. If it's gonna be softer, it's probably gonna be more comfortable for people. that are looking for something really soft under the foot, but that trade off is durability, like the lifespan of it. But it would be really easy to resole something like this. So you know, not too big of a deal. So yeah, like I said, I was looking at this thing to maybe recommend to my brother-in-law, and I showed him to him. He really liked them, and so he ordered a pair himself. Um, at that $250 price point, I think this is a fantastic boot. The materials that they use in it, it's just a real, functional, solid boot, and at this price point, I really think they knocked it out of the park. Jim Green really knocked it out of the park with this boot. Um, so yeah, I really like it. Like I said, my brother-in-law ordered a pair, and hopefully they serve him well too in his job. Um, and I think if you're looking at this boot, if you're someone that just you're maybe not the best option, like if you're looking for something to wear with your skinny jeans or something like that, and you know style on people, maybe not that. It's a little bulbous there at the toe. It doesn't scream I'm a work boot like maybe some other Jim Green stuff does. uh so I wouldn't call it dressy at all, but it it kind of looks like a boot that you would just wear all the time. Like uh like if you needed a Gata boot where you want to go anywhere and do anything, this would be a perfect one for you if you didn't want to like sell one of your kidneys to buy like some $600-700 boot. This is a solid boot at 250. um so I think it's pretty great for that, like if you're just looking for a really functional boot that you can just wear everywhere and would be appropriate in almost any situation, really. This is a great option, and I like it for that. I think if if my house burned down, say tomorrow, and all my boots in it, I honestly think this would probably be the first boot that I would buy again, just because of I would use it every day until I built my collection back up. So it is just a great boot. Um, and I don't want to say like if you're well, yeah, I guess I do. So maybe you're watching this and you've just worn sneakers all your life, and you want to get into a pair of boots, and you don't want to spend upwards of $400 or $500 and end up finding out that maybe boots aren't for you. You know, like yeah, if you're new to boots and you want like your first pair of boots, I think this is a fantastic option. Uh, I would say I would rather get this over something like a Thursday at 200. Spend the extra 50 for this, just based on the fact that it has a leather insole and midsole, so it's gonna feel like those boots that are way more expensive. So maybe if you've worn sneakers all your life and squishy is comfortable to you, that transition to a leather insole for people like that can be kind of jarring. And I think this is a great step into the shallow end of the pool. Like you can buy a pair of these and get a lot of use out of them, and maybe you love that feeling of that hard footbed that if you're looking to get in like to a lot more expensive boots, like all those have leather insoles. So this would be a great first boot for someone, if that's you. And it's an awesome boot for just someone that's into boots or just wants a really usable functional boot that doesn't scream I'm a work boot. Yeah, just a great boot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a great boot for the price. you know, it's available. They have them in stock, so you can just go buy them. And yeah, just been an awesome boot. Uh, Kudos to Jim Green. This is a really great usable boot for someone that I really like. But yeah, that's boots. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.